Technically,
Well,
you
I have paid to the Aspis Consortium.
He says, of course, the Aspis Consortium. They will handle all of your accounting for you then.
They have been most diligent in seeing to our books.
All right, so he checks off the final thing and says, enjoy your stay at Hell's Harbor. And then he's like, shock troopers! And snaps his fingers, and they like all come up from the hold and board back onto their ship. And the whole time, like, they're still lashing this guy. They're like 40 lashes into beating the guy who was piloting the ship. And they get back on the ship and try to re-enter formation with the other two customs. So you're free to enter Hell's Harbor.
Yay.
Yay.
So it looks like if you go to New York, you go to like Little Odessa, and it looks kind of like what you would expect. So this place looks like Little Cheliax. You know, lots of metal buildings, lots of depictions of devils, symbols of Asmodeus everywhere. Besmara is also pretty big. Like, as opposed to Port Peril, where there's the harbor patrol, and you know they have like little tug ships and whatever, and the officers, like all the shore patrol people, are like dirty, wearing shitty uniforms. These guys are all like straight back, like all doing the goose step, marching in formation. There's no dirt on the street. Like you see people out there with toothbrushes cleaning the streets, and like in prisoners' outfits. And the patrol ships here are not tugboats; they're like actual battleships. And you pull into port. And at the port, there's a guy waiting for you. He's like, welcome to Hell's Harbor. I am your guide today. Please remember that with the laws of Hell Harbor, while murder is not a crime, wearing armor within the city is. Please remove all armor items before entering the city. You are also only allowed to carry one blade and one firearm.
Does a bow count as a firearm?
Yes. So like one ranged weapon and one blade.
Okay, cool.
I wonder if I left my special permits on me. Did I even have special permits?
Sure. You would probably have special permits for Cheliax, but you would not for Hell's Harbor. You could certainly try to flash Cheliaxian paperwork at him.
I'll linger behind the rest of my crew when they go to disembark and flash the paperwork at the man, just to make sure everything's in order.
Okay, so he's like, the Mockingbird rustles twice at midnight. And you realize this is like a counter code to everything. Like, this is a Chelaxian military code.
And I know the response.
You know the counter code. Whatever you want to say back will be correct.
What was the code again?
The Mockingbird rustles twice at midnight or something like that.
The Raven mocks the loss of Lenore.
He says, of course. Brother, we have been expecting you. Our Lord expects you at the cathedral. He will meet you at the bell tower at midnight. Come alone.
Of course.
And
my weapons?
He says, I apologize, but if you are caught with more than one weapon in the town, the city guard will lock you up. You should only bring one blade.
Very well.
And then he immediately like turns around to the rest of you and is like smiles. He's like, "Follow me if you'd like to go to the market section. We have quite a fine, arrangement of slaves and silks from the inner sea. We are the finest merchant port in the northern Shackles." He just keeps going on and on about how, this is the first place ships from the north come to, and it's the last line of defense for the Shackles. So all shipping is handled through Hell's Harbor.
Interesting.
And that's how they keep everything running, because they have such huge tax revenue. Is there anything specifically you'd like to inquire with this gentleman, or any place you'd like to go to?
I asked about the, are we allowed to have shields or no?
Nope.
No shields. Okay.
Did you want to ask about that policy, since apparently one of the viewers is confused?
I was saying no armor, no shield, one melee weapon, one ranged weapon.
He says, yes, The policy was established by our wise leader, Admiral Aranax Endymion. We could not prevent pirates from carrying blades in the town, of course, and every man is free to do with as they wish as long as they follow the laws here. So while dueling is allowed, and it is not a crime to kill someone during a duel, wearing armor is a intention. You obviously would only wear armor if you intended to cause trouble, right? Why else would you wear armor?
Tradition.
Your tradition can be with traditional clothes. He points to his own, Chilaxian functionary robes. He kind of looks like someone who would work for the Chilaxian government, but with a Hawaiian shirt instead of, a straight black tie.
Yeah.
He's like an in-between of both, kind of like all of Hell's Harbor is half pirate, half Chilaxian.
Okay.
He's like, I assume that you 100% approve of our policy of no armor, no armor. Because you do not seem like people who would cause trouble, would you?
Of course not.
No, I'm taking off my armor and leaving a blade behind.
Okay, so, as he's walking you guys through the market, you pass a set of, goose-stepping shock troopers, the guys with the double V's on their shoulder, and they're all just, looking over all the markets, and, every so often, they'll come up to some merchants, and one of their number of the shock troopers will, peel off, and get, a little bag of something from a merchant, and then continue onwardly after, writing it down on a piece of paper. And he's like, yes, the routine bribery checks. As you can see, Hell's Harbor runs on quite a smooth set of governance, where everyone pitches in to make sure the tax money flows. Now, where were you folks headed? Actually, he stops, right in front of the slave market. He's like, this is our greatest slave market right here, Happy Harry's Wholesome Emporium. You can get everything at warehouse prices. Would you perhaps like to purchase some halflings?
Ferris wants to inspect the merchandise.
Okay, so, what are you looking for exactly? They have slaves of all types. They also have numerous magic items at, let's see here. Happy Harry's Wholesale Warehouse. But more importantly, you also find the latest copy of the Daily Bard. Hell's Harbor edition. It's the Cathedral at Midnight in the Bell Tower.
Okay.
So we have the Daily Bard links there. If you're watching on the YouTubes, I will be putting it in the description section. And if you're watching us live, I just dropped it onto Twitch.
It says we need permission.
Oh, shit. I always copy it, but I always forget to make it shareable. 1 second. Check it again in just a moment, guys.
People watching on YouTube will not have this problem.
Yeah, people watching on YouTube, you're perfectly fine. Let me make sure I did this right. Okay, anyone with the link of you can try again now. Wow, there's already 3 people. All right, excellent. Oh, I apologize for that. Let me just make sure that correct link is back out again.
See your expression on your face.
So bad. I always forget something. Alkenstar Gunworks. What's good for us is good for you.
I'm a hippo.
Just give you guys a couple minutes to look that over. When you're done, just put an X in the chat, or if you have any questions. And think about what type of slaves you'd like to purchase, or any magical items at Happy Harry's Wholesale Warehouse.
Plus, we don't have money.
I hear someone offered you 5,000 gold pieces for a necklace and a pearl.
Doesn't mean you get it.
Wow, you... Oh my gosh. You dropped so bad during that, Lorraine. Oh, what is it with Skype lately? Stop sucking Skype. I just want to point out that at least one of these articles is in fact a paid advertisement.
No kidding.
I should also announce viewers who would like to give me ideas, as always, for side quests can continue to do so. I'm going to try to have a daily bard out every week. So players who have an idea for a story or viewers who have an idea for a story or have an experience from their campaigns that they would like to see in the Daily Bard, just send me info on Twitch. You can send me a message, or on Twitter at APGamingREAL. Where are the clutch battles at? Well, this party is so busy not getting into fights, it's hard to have clutch battles. I apologize. At some point, they're going to get into a big battle, and I'm sure they'll just blind everybody.
Well, I'd like to hear a story about a young halfling raising a farm, eating apples.
Send me a message. You want me to tell a news report about the adventures of the Pathfinders into the Emerald Spire?
Yes. And how the greatest paladin of all time died.
Recently.
The greatest paladin of all time died a horrific death.
Underwater. Drowned himself to death after 40 rounds of holding his breath.
I'm gonna
What do
miss
you
that
mean by
paladin.
best paladin of all time?
Judge was the best lawful paladin of all time.
Judge was pretty fantastic.
I'm sad he
What was
died.
amazing is how, as a paladin, he still managed to destroy the hope of an entire town.
Yeah.
They were like, save us, paladin, save us from the oppression. He was like, no, fuck it.
No, it's lawful, so I'm not gonna step in.
It was so good. All right, everybody, all the players here, done with your Daily Bard?
Yes.
Yep.
Sorry, I haven't put an X yet. Beep. I'm still laughing about that guy. We're gonna have so much fun with him torturing his life. It's like an anime, and the wife and daughter's like, "You crazy man? Why are you messing with that poor bird?"
His daughter's just like, Dad, you're such a nerd. He starts walking around with like a lightning rod everywhere, attached to his back.
Oh, when I hit level 10, I'll have the storm, so it'll be non-lethal damage. Just
Okay.
get hit by sonic booms.
So it looks like most people are done reading it. What would you guys like to do now? I mean, it looks like you're looking at slaves.
Yep.
And Happy Harry's wholesale warehouse. I don't know if you guys have anything you'd like to do here.
I am looking for reasonably fresh merchandise. I'd prefer something that hasn't already been broken.
So, like a huge, like, Buddha-sized guy comes out, like the fat Buddha that everyone sees in those statues. And the Hunt for the Red October reference was not in the Daily Bard. It was the music, the anthem. So this very rotund merchant comes out and is like, I'm Happy Harry, and I'm happy to help you. And you notice he just keeps saying a lot of H's. And he's like, what can I do for you? You're looking for fresh merchandise, you say? Well, I think I've got fresh Chilaxian slaves. Would you like tieflings, perhaps? Is that your thing?
I was thinking maybe something halfling, petite, doesn't get in the way too much.
Male or female?
Either. I'd like them
What
to
work
still
will you
have a
be
little
putting this person
spirit.
through?
So much more fun when you can break them yourself.
What work will you be putting this one to? Just random torture, or?
No. I want someone that's a little acrobatic, able to
little?
get into small spaces.
He says, of course. There is a halfling who used to dance ballet for a very small branch of the Thrun family that we've recently acquired in a raid on their ships. I can give her to you for 250 gold pieces.
Let me see her. Check the condition.
Okay. So he's like, bring out Susurina. And, they bring out a very... She looks young, but she's clearly about 25 and halfling, which is actually kind of old. But, so she is short and petite, so she just looks very young. But she's pretty mature. And she just starts doing some ballet dancing without anyone asking her to. And the guy, like, backhands her, and he's just like, stop that ridiculous dancing. She's not here to see you dance. She wants you to crawl in ducks or something.
I go to Captain Ferris. Can we keep her? She's so adorable.
He'll check mental health condition.
He'll check, yeah. Physically, she seems fine. You know, she could just get backhanded across the face by someone that's like 4 times her size. But other than that, she seems to be in pretty peak physical condition.
Okay.
There are dark circles under her eyes, however. Other than that, she's probably maybe fine. What was the question?
Signs of drug addiction?
Nothing like that.
I look her over too. What
Okay.
24 give me?
She seems to be, like, mentally, she's extremely depressed and seems to have just given up at this point. She's just doing whatever.
I'm like, please, Captain, can we have this one?
Languages.
Is Halfling a language? I think it is, right?
I don't think so.
No.
It is in 5e, maybe. Language. Well, obviously she speaks Taldane, so common, and that's about it.
Halfling.
Yeah, she speaks Halfling. It is a language.
Oh. Yeah, it is.
I did not know that.
Trying to make me not think that I don't know what it is up.
Alright. I suppose I'll take her.
He says,
She might be workable. But really, I think you're asking far too much.
he says, oh? What price would you consider fair for the life of an intelligent creature?
Intelligent? Perhaps. 175 most.
Scourge, you're here. How are you feeling about this? I think you're muted.
Scourge is having to grit his teeth, but he's not going to say anything in front of
Okay.
anybody, though.
So you say 175. He says, are you trying to make me poor? This woman is worth at least 200 gold pieces.
I pull out my whip.
You guys
I have
can make
a-
a sense motive check.
Oh, sense motive. Is he
Yep.
human?
Yes.
Ooh, sweet. Okay, sense motive is...
So he just dropped the price by 50 gold pieces, like a significant amount, out of nowhere. It seems pretty suspicious to you.
I have this masterwork whip that's probably worth it. You could probably use it on the slave.
I reach over and I smack him quietly.
He says, you would trade me the whip for the girl.
A masterwork whip.
So he looks over the whip, he says, how many stars is it?
It's kind of what kind of traditional whip would be in a Calicio design.
So he says,
Maelstrom.
all weapons in Hell Harbor are forged with stars along them to show what quality the blade is.
Crew member, wait outside.
Oh, I'm like, sorry.
He says, no, I'll take the whip. That is acceptable. He shakes Dom's hand and is done. It's like, she belongs to you now. Sign here. And he hands the paperwork to Aces.
Captain?
Well, evidently she's yours now.
I like to say FYI, the whip was like 150.
Yeah. And remember, you sell things at half price. He still takes the whip anyway. Are you signing the paperwork? Dom?
Lorraine, do you want it?
You stuck your nose in, you deal with it now.
Okay. I signed the paper.
Okay. The guide kind of claps you on the back. He's like, "Ah, excellent! Your first Hell Harbor slave. You will be very impressed with the quality of our work here. We only import the finest ironic slaves from Cheliax. Just remember, if you'd like to set her free, the cost you can pay it at the local governance for 300 gold pieces. Make sure to bring your slave transfer paperwork." And
gotcha.
he's like, "I'm also a public notary," and he reaches into like his guide's kit and pulls out like a stamp and stamps your paperwork, and he's like, "Eyewitness." And Happy Harry is just like, "Excellent. Ah, this whip is a thing of beauty. It's good to be rid of that girl. Now, no returns. Goodbye."
Okay.
He turns around and closes the door to the slave emporium in your face. You hear him laughing inside. He's like, "Ha ha ha! What fools! I can't believe they bought her." So what would you guys like to do now? You're standing in the middle of the street with a halfling slave in chains.
Do I have to keep her in chain?
I guess not.
No, I just bring her up my shoulder. You're going to be my new lookout buddy.
Okay. She doesn't say anything. She just follows you around.
Okay.
So outside, like when he closes the slave emporium door, on the outside of it, you notice there's a poster of Merrill Pegsworthy. It's like public enemy #1. If you see this man and kill him, bring his corpse here for 20,000 gold pieces. You'll see a thought bubble above there's where Shock Army is pushing the old officers overboard. Man, things are getting dark. So, you made your first slave purchase. Is there anything else you want to do in Hell's Harbor while you're here? Maybe kill random people in the street? Get in a bar fight?
Would this be the town to get in the bar fight at?
Oh yeah, this would be a great time to get in a bar fight in. As I say that, like you're looking over your slave and another group of shock troopers goes past you, all goose-stepping. All of them wearing like masterwork quality weapons that have 2 stars on the blade.
Well, I don't have my melee weapon anymore, so...
How much gold does this group have? I think they're pretty poor right now. They basically have nothing, as far as I know.
We're gold poor, but
Yeah, they're super gold poor.
we're
They
gold
have a
poor.
ship, so that's worth quite a bit.
We have like what, 2-3 captains under our command at this point?
Yeah, sure. And your plunder, you can convert that to money if you wanted to. Which reminds me, since you did go to a new port, you will need to feed your crew.
Aw.
Yes, let me mark down the plunder.
A question, what are we going to do with that harpoon?
What are you going to do with that harpoon? What are you going to do with the corpse that you're hauling everywhere? All
I'm
these questions
dipping him.
answered, never. You're saving it?
Yes, I have specific plans for the corpse.
Let me know when
What
you want
about-
to share them with me.
What about
Yet. Well, it hasn't happened yet.
Of course.
corpse of Kid Tones too?
Yeah, but he's... Oh no, he was a ghost, so he needs resurrection to come back, right? So he was turned into an undead.
Yeah, I think his ghost is gone now.
Right, but raised dead,
Witness.
you can't bring back someone who is turned into an undead.
Yeah.
It's part
That's
of the
weird.
description. So what would you guys like to do in Hell's Harbor? You worked so hard to get here.
I don't even remember what we want to do now.
Oh yeah, I'm here to get my mask, and I guess someone's supposed to be here for a ninja mission.
Okay?
Okay, let me see.
Noises?
So, what's happening?
I'm hearing an argument outside my door.
Does anyone want to go see a world-renowned play?
I don't think that's happening for another few days.
It's 5 days away.
Hey,
The
can I
play
do
is
it?
3 days long.
Can I do an obstacle on?
By the way, we have to pay our crew. if we haven't done it already.
I already put down the plunder. Done.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay. Now it's local to figure out where this guy is.
Oh, so he's, like, you're just thinking, like, where is Admiral and Aronnax and Demian? And then you remember he'd be at the governance building here, which is, like, the tallest building in the area that's made out of pure steel. And it's like a skyscraper, right? So there's the only known skyscraper in the world is basically this building and the gigantic tower at the center of Star. Like, there are not tall buildings in Galarian, except for these two.
Huh. Weird.
How tall is this?
So it's like 10 stories.
Oh, okay.
Who want to come with?
Bar
Well, I'm doing this
in
so
steel
this time.
construction, 10 stories is a lot.
Well, this is steel construction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, like, that's the reason why there aren't that many tall buildings in the world, because
Exactly.
they don't have, like, manufacturing of steel. But this place is steel.
Ah,
The whole town is basically, like, corrugated metal and aluminum and steel. It's just
Okay.
like Cheliax.
yeah.
Just like Mom made it. Chilaxian pie.
Righty.
So, anybody want to come with to the place, or am I going alone?
I'll go with you.
Okay. We got Siegfried. I'm guessing someone's going to the opera? Or pre-opera? Or...
Opera's in 5 days. I guess I can join you in the governance building.
Guess the other two's doing stuff. Then we go to the government building.
Unless... Would Ferris like a hand, perhaps spreading tales of our exploits in Hell's Harbor?
I don't think Ferris wants us to help with anything anymore.
Okay. Cool. Lead
I
the
just
way,
wanna
Maelstrom.
Okay.
I just wanna
Onward!
say, I did not contribute to that one.
So let me just check in what everybody's doing. Kamakiri and Aces are both going to the government building.
Where's Siegfried?
And Master Scourge, I think.
Okay.
Scourge, yeah.
Scourge. Bottles is AFK. We'll check in with him. And Ferris, what are you doing? You're spreading crew rumors?
Okay.
So someone's asking about the 3 young liches. And yes, they do have orders to check in with you guys in Hell's Harbor, right? That's what you told them, to deal with the Pathfinders. You said something about water, and meet up with you in Hell's Harbor.
They were to deal with the Pathfinders, identify the 3 biggest obstacles to the Necromancer, and how to overcome each of them, and then meet me in Hell's Harbor.
Okay.
So it might be a while.
So, what tale will you be telling for today's bluff check?
I am going to tell the magical fantasy of a captain and a crew who work together and don't get underfoot.
I'll admit, that does sound pretty fantastic.
Yeah!
Sounds pretty far-fetched to me.
unbelievable.
We are in land of order. Seems very
Aces.
plausible.
Aces, like, sneeze
So
somewhere.
you're telling the story in the local bar, and everyone's like, "That's bullshit. You're just making crap up at this point." All right, Adam, do we have you back? Are you joining the rest of the away team as they go to the government building, or do you have other plans?
I'll join the away team.
Okay, so when you arrive, Aces, they ask you to check your slave at the door.
Okay, I told her to stand put.
So like they lead her into a room and they hand you like a coat check ticket.
Huh. Didn't know it worked that way.
and one of the